Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome to my in-depth review of Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville for the Nintendo Switch. Today marks the release date of the complete edition for Plants vs. Zombies on the Nintendo Switch, and it's the first time PvZ has been on the Switch before. So whether you're a longtime fan or a new fan to the franchise, there's something in this review for you. I did my first look at the game this morning. If you want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description of this video where you can see a little bit about the game and what some of the features it has to offer, which I checked out. But in today's video, we're going to be taking a overview look approach on the single player, multiplayer, maps, stuff like that, and rucks, and the prize map, which if you don't know about is something that was in the other game, which I'll explain a little bit more as we go on. The Rewardatron, offline play, motion controls, and things like that that the complete edition has to offer. So without further ado, let's get into the review. Alright, so like I said, the first topic at hand here is the single player, which there are 4 free roam regions, so it's not just a quest where you follow the map. You can go wherever you want and explore, and which leads to my next point here, which is that there's a lot of secrets in the single player. There's chests, gnomes, and things like that you can find, which give you coins and other little cool things and hats and costumes and stuff like that, which are definitely enjoyable. They do take a little bit of time, and if you want to do them by yourself, that will take quite a bit of time. But there are guides on YouTube where to find them all, and they're pretty straightforward overall. And then in addition to those, the main quests, which are the kind of main reason you go to the stories to begin with, consist of a starting one, basically, where you find out why you're even there to begin with, and then 3 quests, I believe, which get you different parts to make something, which helps you to defeat the boss. So that's basically how they go. So it's a little bit repetitive, I will be honest. However, the bosses themselves and the quests are all fun and unique, and they're definitely worth doing in their own right. But the formula is still there, where you have to defeat the boss at the end. But there, like I said, there's 2 for the 2 for the plants and 2 for the zombies, and then each of them has 1 region which is unique. So there's 3 total regions, and then one of them is the same technically, but it's shared between the plants and the zombies. So there's different quests and different chest locations, I'm pretty sure, for the main one there. So there's 3 different ones, like I said, and then different chests. So there's I think a total of 200 chests, maybe more, in between the regions, which is a lot for sure. But like I said, there's guides on YouTube, and they're not that difficult. I might even make one myself, so if you want to stay tuned for that, make sure to hit the subscribe button, much appreciated. But that basically wraps up the single player. There's lots of hats you can get, costumes, and coins, like I said, in addition to just the fun experience of just playing through the game and learning about the story, which I will say is not the best story ever, but it's definitely worth it, and I'd say a solid 7 or 8 out of 10. Alright, so next is the multiplayer, which is kind of the main part of the game that a lot of people know and love about PvZ, which has many different modes. I believe there's only 3 at the moment, which is weird because Team Vanquish, which is a popular mode from the first 2 games, is a weekly event, which I noticed in my first look of the game, which was interesting. I don't know if that's a thing that's permanent or what the deal is with that, but usually there are modes like Turf War, which is basically a traditional like capture the point mode, and then Team Vanquish is basically your team deathmatch kind of mode. And there's different modes in addition to those which are unique to PvZ, like Gnome Bomb and Suburbanation, and those are pretty fun modes that you just have to experience for yourself. And I know a lot of people, if they've played Garden Warfare 1 or 2, already know about those. But like I said, the multiplayer has been reduced from 16v16 to 8v8, so the player size is definitely cut in half there, which is interesting, but I get why they do it, because the Switch has different technical capabilities compared to the Xbox, PS4, and PC. So yeah, the maps are still all there. They're great maps. A lot of them are the same as the free roam regions, which is a little bit annoying, and I wish they would have put more effort in there, some of them. But there are still unique maps, and most of them are great. And then the combat, like I said, hasn't really changed much. Even with the halved players, it still feels just as fun. And like I said, there are a lot of maps and game modes that keep you occupied for a long time. And then, like I said, just because it's the first day, some of this gameplay here, I would play Turf War, which is one of the main modes that is available right now. And it's weird because no one seems to know how to capture the objective. Every time I would run in there would be none of my team with me. So, you know, that was a little bit interesting, but I get it's the first day, so a lot of people have probably just picked up the game for themselves. But anyways, like I said, the garden and graveyard modes are the second mode that isn't a weekly event. I don't know why Team Bank is just weekly, like I said, but garden and graveyard ops are in the game. They were from the first and second game as well, and they are a lot worse in comparison to this game. Or, sorry, comparison to the older games, because this one, it just doesn't feel the same. There's like less rounds. I think there's only 5 rounds as opposed to 10, and the game just as itself it's just not as fun. But like I said, the turf war has some minor improvements, and then like I said, the team vanquish is mostly unchanged. And I don't know why the other modes aren't in there, but maybe we'll see them soon enough. Maybe it was just a temporary thing. But like I said, yeah, the multiplayer is fun, and like I said, no complaints really, other than the you know, some of the player things, which will hopefully improve with time. Okay, so now it's time to talk about some of the unique features to the Complete Edition as opposed to what they were on the PC, PS4, Xbox editions of the game, because there are a lot of changes to things that are definitely better and an interesting play by EA, because usually, like I said in my first look, EA tends to go with a more real money transaction basis for their games. And this game, there aren't any transactions. So once you bought the game, which I don't know if I mentioned, but it's $40, you have everything in the game, which is interesting, but it's definitely a great change, because now Rux sells like the abilities and costumes like he did before, but they're only 4 coins which you can earn in the game. So you can't buy abilities or upgrades or characters or anything like that. You just have to play the game, which is a really nice addition. In addition to that, the prize map also had some changes, including the reduction from the meter. You usually needed 5k XP to get a bulb, but now it's 4k. And the quests, I noticed, give you a lot more bulbs. There was one that was, I think I saw in my quest board, that gave me 10, which is pretty good for just having to win one game. And then, like I said, the prize map also had changes to how it works. So instead of having monthly cycles on the map itself, they changed it to where you can select any map at any time, which is really nice, because it was kind of annoying to have to wait, you know. If it was November and you wanted to get something from June, you'd have to wait a whole other year. But in this, you can choose which map you want to select and which map you want to put effort into, which is really nice. And so yeah, prize bulbs are a lot easier, which makes getting the rewards a lot faster. And you can choose which month you want to get rewards from, which is very nice indeed. And like I said, the costumes are all the same. They're, you know, just as good as they were before, but now you don't have to pay real money for them, which is really nice. And once again, I mentioned this in the first look, but the offline play is great as well, because now you can play against bots, and you can do the free roam regions all you want while you're away from your Wi-Fi, or you just want to play handheld and without internet, or whatever your case may be. You can play offline against bots, which means you don't technically need the Nintendo Switch Online for the game itself. Obviously, the multiplayer does require Nintendo Switch Online, but that's a story for a different day, because for now, you can technically play the game without it, which is nice. There's also motion controls for the Switch, because the Joy-Cons and Pro Controllers, I believe, have motion controls built into them. I didn't like them very much, to be honest. I'm not really a motion control kind of guy, but I did note that they were worse than the motion controls that I use a lot in Splatoon. So, I mean, I don't know. You can make of it what you will, but it's just not as good, in my opinion. But I don't think they're terrible. I can see that some people could get used to using them. It's a nice feature as well. And then, like I said before, no in-app purchases or in-game purchases, which is a very nice feature indeed. And then that's basically it for the Complete Edition. It's the exact same game, but with a few extra bonus features and no real money purchases, which is really nice. And I think that the game is an improvement in what the game should have been when it came out in its release date in, 2019? So yeah, it's been a while, but they finally ported it over to the Switch, and it's definitely it's definitely a good game. And like I said, if you're a new fan, absolutely worth picking up in my opinion. Just because it came out, there's a lot of players, lobbies should be full, and if you're an old player, like I said, it's really up to you whether you want to buy the game. I think it's a lot of fun, and if you don't want to have to worry about rainbow stars and all that, then it's definitely a good change. But like I said, the game doesn't get updates anymore because they canceled it after a year because I don't think it did very well. But now that it came to the Switch, who knows? Now that you don't have to, keep waiting for Rux to sell you the things and buy rainbow stars, it's definitely a lot nicer. And I hope that the game continues to be supported, at least server-wise, for a long time. So I think it's definitely worth it. But like I said, if you're you already have the game, it's kind of a how much do you like the game? How much do you want to spend on it? The graphical changes are a lot worse in comparison to that of an Xbox or PS4 or even PC, obviously. So, like I said, it's really up to you. But the good thing about this game is you can play it, in handheld mode, which is a nice convenience to have. But is it really worth it? Yes and no. So you kind of have to make that choice for yourself. But if you're a new fan, then definitely I would say it's a great game and definitely worth picking up. But that's going to do it for this review. Let me know if you have any questions or comments down below in the comment section. And if you enjoyed, please leave a like and consider subscribing for more PvZ content. It is greatly appreciated, and I appreciate all of you. So thanks for watching my review of the complete edition for Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville, and I will see you guys hopefully soon with another video. Goodbye.